You're on fire!
Julian was in town visiting from Seattle, and I had asked if he'd be willing to help me wrap up the assembly on a 10-year-old new in-box OG Fun Cub to get her flying. We worked together to finalize the assembly, including making the elevator travel cutouts larger for some added throw, and she was ready to go. Before we took her to the field for her maiden, though, we snagged a quick flight with the Turbo Timber Evolution in the backyard. I did some landings as well. A firm reverse 3-point, and next up,
No reverse thrust required.
after a quick packing job and a drive to the Southern New Hampshire Flying Eagles, we arrived to our first ever time witnessing a control line flight. That was sweet to watch and is definitely something we love to try out at some point.
Nice.
Well, it's time. The brand new, old Fun Cub was ready for her maiden, thanks to Julian's help. As always, lightweight is the biggest reason I love this bird. The all-up weight with battery, 35 ounces. The second she was airborne, nostalgia was flowing through my veins. It was like rejoining a long-lost friend. Speaking of friends, Julian gave her a shot too.
Julian at the sticks. Beauty.
Nice landing, Julian. You would think that this bird would fly in something like a 4S 2200, given that the airplanes coming out today in the same STOL size class fly in them, but no. She flies and hovers right around 50% power on an E-Flight 480 swinging a 12x6 prop. Keep 'em light. I also had a fun time doing the old school challenge of trying to wheel land her without bouncing on her extremely springy gear, and, well... I only managed one so-so landing. This girl is a STOL plane at heart, so I brought her in using her preferred landing procedure, a 3-point. We'll get back to more Fun Cub shenanigans shortly. For now, it was time to take up the E-Flight Folkwolf. This plane has quickly become my favorite 6S 5000 size warbird to date.
Oh, almost off the runway there, folks.
She also snaps well too. For a warbird. Julian took some flight time as well.
Hey, nice takeoff, sir.
He owns one back in Seattle and was actually who originally sold me on buying it.
All right, Julian, with the how low can you go?
Pretty low, I think. Oh, a big old barrel roll. Terrible barrel roll.
One of the fun things I like to do with the Folkwolf is practicing raising the tail while maintaining a center line, and also wheel landings without bouncing like a bouncy ball on the hard surface.
Oh, we got a bouncer. Geez, Zach. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Vision the butter you're about to spread on this runway. See? He was better.
One other fun approach I enjoy is landing over the massive trees on the right side of the flying field here.
Well, it's pretty breezy today, folks. We'll see if we can smash it off like a bag of hammers.
There we are.
It was time for a quick smoke break, but not that kind. Nick had strapped a smoke bomb to the bottom of his E-Flight T-28 and had some fun flying her around, leaving a smoke trail in his wake. Great flying, Nick. After a fun day at the field, we headed home before it was too dark to not only satisfy our bratwurst cravings, but to sneak in a couple of backyard flights in the beautiful, calm evening weather. First up, the Fun Cub. The Fun Cub is a plane that got Ben and I into the whole concept of flying outside the box. She's also the first plane I ever flew around at my childhood home comfortably in a tight area. Let's take the nostalgia full circle and get her up in my own backyard.
Just like that, folks.
There is one last nostalgic christening, or so to speak, to accomplish with the house. The roof landing. It was an easy bird to get stabilized and set up for the roof approach on the first try, until I messed it up. Try 2. Well, she landed, with one wing low though. Try 3. We'll take that one. I didn't want to push my luck after that last roof landing, so it was time to get up with Mudgy 70 before it got too dark and our bratwurst burned to a crisp. Mudgy 70, which was built by our friend Brian in Seattle, was built with light as her middle name. It was fun taking advantage of the still evening summer air to hover and try a hover catch. Next up, flying the bush chicane turn. And turning her around for a landing going the other way. This plane has always been a favorite to practice tail-up taxiing with, like full-scope pilots do in gravel bars. It requires careful coordination with throttle, down elevator, rudder to turn, and opposite aileron as needed to keep the tail up while in this taxi configuration. Now it's time for the parallel fence approach, which requires a mid-round-out turn to final to land safely without overrunning and hitting the fence. Definitely keeps the heart rate up. And one more turn to land. It was time to pack up for the night. On the other side of the country, Ben has begun his transcontinental road trip to move out here to New Hampshire. We're excited for what's to come when he arrives. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Happy landings, bounce one on for us, and we'll see you next time with a new upload.